Welcome back to Forza. I'm Brandon Cole with a second Forza video for you. Kind of just going to share with you some, basically this is for the blind community, just so you're aware. And I'm going to share with you some of the driving tips that I've picked up over the time that I've been working on the game. Some things that might be useful to learn as you head into Forza. So this will be very, very slow-paced. It probably will overall be a shorter video than the first one, but it'll be kind of a slow-paced, not actual racing, just kind of sharing with you some of the knowledge that I picked up. So, one of the first things I picked up is that not every car is something that you should immediately accelerate with full throttle on right away. Some are, some you can do that, but some you can't do that. Usually, the faster the car, the faster its acceleration and so on and so forth, the less you want to do that. You don't really want to accelerate fully. You don't want to slam the throttle to start with, because if you do that, you might actually just spin out. It's crazy. Some cars, some really, really super cars, just will spin out if you put full pressure on the throttle immediately as you start. So take that into account when you start your race. Notice how I hit the throttle there, and I was basically kind of like... I believe this would be traction control, maybe. That was basically kind of slowing me down. I was like, hey, wait a minute, don't do that. But honestly, there are cars that are so super in Forza that you will still spin out even with those things on. Trust me, I've done it, I know. The next thing I want to show you is one of those little things that a new blind driver may not be aware of. And that is something that might sound simple, but I promise you, if you're a new blind driver, you might not know. And again, sighted people, you're probably going to watch this video and be like, huh? But seriously, new blind drivers really might not know this. I sure didn't know it. So, the concept of braking in a turn might be a new concept, and maybe at first difficult for some to wrap their heads around. Believe it or not, you're actually not supposed to go through a turn without braking. Braking is how you improve your ability to turn. So, a lot of things are happening with a car during a turn. And one of those things is the more you have pressure applied to things like the brake or the throttle, the less turnability you have. I will try to show that to you now. I'm going to just stay on, no matter what the braking thing says. I'm going to stay on it.
Press Y button to rewind. Segment score 1.0.
I'm going to pick up some speed here.
Right 3 into right 1 long.
Okay, this should be terrible.
Press Y button to rewind.
Okay. I didn't let off the brakes there, and that's what happened. I was trying to turn. I was holding right. That whole time I was holding right. As soon as I was directed to turn, I was holding right. But it didn't matter, because I was going too fast. I had too much on the throttle at the time, and so I did not have the ability to turn in time. So it's about two things. It's about giving yourself the time to turn by slowing down. That's part of it. And that's not the only reason you slow down, but that's part of it. Giving yourself the time to turn, given how good your car's handling is. And it's about not applying too much pressure to the throttle or the brake when you're turning. Now, sometimes if you're turning in like a hairpin turn, and you have to apply pressure to the brake because you need to brake, because you need to slow down, because it's a hairpin, and for those you usually need to slow down quite a bit. You can still apply pressure to the brake during a turn, and you can even apply a lot of it, and sometimes it will work. But it's just important to know the costs of everything. It's important to know that when you're applying anything to the throttle or anything to the brake, your turnability is less. Your turnability is at its maximum when pressure is being applied to neither of those things. So that's one of the things that I picked up that's important to know. The next thing I want to talk about is I'll try to show this as best I can, but I want to talk about the idea of getting back on the throttle when you are in the middle of a turn, and after you've after you've been braking for a while, you know, slowing down to take the turn, getting back on the throttle at the right time. Because you don't have to wait, and I used to do this. When I started playing this game, I used to wait until the turn was done, but until I was out of the turn completely before I got back in the throttle. I don't do that anymore, thank goodness. It is honestly, I will admit, it's still something I'm working on too. It's something that's difficult to get to doing right away, because like you hear the deceleration cue tell you need to slow down, so you do, in kind of at least for me, you know, at least as you know, by default, kind of a scared way, like, okay, I need to slow down enough in time, and then when you start slowing down, you might find that you might not stop slowing down after you started. You know, that's the trouble thing. The sound may stop, but you may find yourself not holding to that completely when you start slowing down. So you might keep on slowing down, even though you shouldn't keep on slowing down. In fact, you should be applying some pressure to the throttle, and that is something that I feel I am still working on. But I will do my best to show you what that's like. We can get out of this rut here that we've put ourselves in. Alright. Take the next turn. Okay, this turn works too.
Left 4 into right hairpin long.
I let off the
Left 3.
throttle.
Segment score 1.0. Press Y button to rewind.
I have a little bit of pressure applied to the throttle right now.
Press Y button to rewind.
Okay, this is a new one. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm off the throttle, applying a little bit of pressure to the throttle, not being told to slow down.
Press Y button to rewind.
Hit a bearing. Good
Segment
job.
score 1.0. Last lap 30.08 minutes. 15.522 seconds.
Don't listen to that. That doesn't count.
Dirty lap. Inherited.
Okay, we're going to slow down.
Right hairpin long.
Now, we've slowed down past the deceleration cue. I can apply some pressure now.
Left
coming
5
out of the turn.
into right 5.
We're back on the throttle by the time we're out of the turn.
Press Y button to rewind. Segment score 1.0. Level up. 100 CP. Press Y button to rewind. Segment score 1.0.
Going very fast right now, folks.
Right 3 into right 1 long.
Show you this again. Slowing down.
Press Y button
Now
to
putting a
rewind.
little bit of pressure back on the throttle. Always try to slow down more. And see, that comes with practice too.
Left 4 into right hairpin long. Left 3.
Press Y button to rewind. Segment score 1.0.
So yeah, let's take a second to talk about this. This comes with practice too. So this car that I'm driving right now is an Acura, by the way, in case you're curious. I don't know the exact model number because I don't remember these things. I'm terrible at it. I'll get there. I'll get there. But this Acura is new to me. I'm not used to this car at all. And because I'm not used to it, I need that period where I'm figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I mentioned in the first video our look-ahead system. Because our look-ahead system is influenced partially by the stats of the car you're driving. It will be, you know, every car will handle differently, just like it does in real life. And that is what you want. And every car will react differently. Like with that last turn, I probably should have slowed down a little bit more than what it was telling me to slow down. But I didn't know that because I've never driven this car before. But those are things that you'll learn. Those are things you'll figure out. You kind of get a feel for your car. And as you keep driving a car that you like, you'll get a feel for it, and you'll be able to kind of feel it out in that way. This also is a good chance to try the. Let's see. Yeah, we're off track. So let's show you in action. Oh, let's actually. I guess we're not quite off track. Let's get off track on purpose. Okay. Now we should be able to show you. Yep, reset the track. the AI took over, put us back on track, and now we have control again. Oh, now we're driving in the pit because I pressed it twice, because I'm terrible. This is pitting.
The warm sun beams down on your car driving towards your pit.
Choose tires. Recommended. Estimated lap time 01. Choose fuel. Recommended.
Your pit crew replaces your...
Notification from achievements.
Yay, we got an achievement.
Rare achievement unlocked. 0.01% 25. Well-rounded. Notification from achievements. Rare achievement unlocked. 0.02% 10. Strategist changed your fuel and tire setup for the first time.
Right hairpin long.
So, back off a little bit for that
Left
acceleration
5
cue,
into right
and then
5.
get right back on it.
Segment score 1.0. Dirty lap. Off track. Press Y button to rewind. Segment score 1.0.
Right 3 into right 1 long.
Back off. Back off further. Get back on it. Back off again. Get back on it.
Left
A little bit of
4
pressure
right
at first until you
hairpin
come out of the
long.
turn.
Left 3.
Personal best segment plus 20 CXP. Press Y button to rewind. Segment score 3.5.
See, I didn't back off. all these tips are very useful. All these braking, all these deceleration cues and audio cues, very useful. You might find. I want to talk about pitting for a second, real quick, because we did pit, even though I didn't mean to at first. But hey, while we're here, let's talk about it. So pitting, I went over this a little bit in the first video, but I'll kind of go over it quickly again. When you press pit entry assist, it locks you in for pit entry assist for that lap. So you don't have to know where the pit is. You don't have to worry about that. Press it on the lap you want to eventually go to the pit. And when you get close enough at that point, after having toggled it on, saying, yes, I want to pit this lap, when you get close enough, then the AI takes over and pulls you into the pit. Once you have completed your pit run, whatever that means, changing tires and fuel or doing nothing or whatever, then the AI still is in control and drives you out of the pit, returning you to the track, and then returning control to you. You'll hear that AI takeover sound again when you return back to the track, to let you know that you're back in control. So that's how that works. It is very, very safe. Just got to consider the time cost, of course, but that goes for anyone. So there you go. Oh, let's see. I guess the other tip that I have is just another reiteration of being on the edge of the track is okay. Don't worry about it. It is just part of the game. It's the way things work, even. The racing line will often be on the edge of the track. It's not right now, but oftentimes it will be on the edge of the track, because that is the best way for you to take the upcoming turn. So, that is a valuable bit of information there as well. Let's see, anything else? Anything else that I can think of? This is kind of a more advanced tip, but I'll throw this in here too. This is going to be hard to demonstrate because you need a specific example where I had found one, but you'll find them over time. This is a tip that comes with knowing your car. You saw the reverse of this, essentially, when I didn't slow down enough for a turn. But here goes. There are times, if you know your car well, okay, if you know your car that you're driving really well, and you know what turns it can take at what speeds, and so on and so forth, there are times when the deceleration cue can be wrong. Not wrong. I mean, it's a good recommendation. It's a safe recommendation, right? But the point is, there may be a time when you get advanced enough with your skills with a specific car. There may come a time where, for you know that, let's say, this car can take this left 2 at nearly top speed. So maybe you don't slow down as much as deceleration tells you to, because you know you can still take it. I've had a couple experiences like that through my time playing this game. Not many. Not many. It is something that requires a lot of familiarity with your car to actually make it work and not go off track. But if you believe it, then, you know, trying it may lead you to a faster lap time, right? So, it's worth experimenting. You should, most of the time, listen to deceleration, especially while you're getting more familiar with your car. Most of the time, it's going to help you out a lot. But, I'm just saying, there is a chance. There is a chance that it might not, you know, it will always be a safe recommendation, but there may be a possibility you could make it without decelerating. And if you think you can, maybe go for it sometimes. Find out. This is how you know. This is how you find out. This is how you learn. You know? So, yeah, do those things. Let's see. I think that might be all the racing tips that I have for you today. As always, the blind community knows who I am. They know that they can ask me questions at any point, anytime, anywhere. I will answer them. But yeah, I think that's going to get you started. I think that's some basic tips that will help you out. Some basic knowledge that will kind of get you started as a new blind driver on this path. These are things that might take you some time to work on, especially if you are new, but that is okay. Use whatever settings you need. In the meantime, any setting is fully customizable. It's all up to you, and you know, play your way, whatever that means, for as long as you want, as long as you enjoy yourself. That's the important thing. All right, we'll leave it there. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys later. Welcome to Forza, guys.